Yes, guys, everything bite-sized here, back with another true crime reaction video. I'm switching it up a bit, and instead of using a JCS video, I'm using some old television footage of an old case in the United Kingdom. I'm not going to spoil it, it's all needless to say, this guy's a monster, and we're just going to get it popping. Let's go.
This is the face of a killer. His name is Mitchell Quai. He was sentenced to life imprisonment.
Might as well have murderer wrote across my forehead.
This is his victim, his wife, Lindsay Quai, aged 21, and the mother of 2 young children. She was brutally murdered.
A murder's a murderer. Who could forgive somebody that's murdered one of their children?
See, he had like a little,
Children. She was brutally murdered.
He has a little, I know he's playing a video game, but if you look at he's got a smirk, and it's called a duping smile, because he knows he's on TV, and he knows he's being filmed, and he knows it's because he's suspected of killing his wife, and he's gotten away with it so far. He's got a little duping smile, and I think he can't help it, because he's concentrated on the video game while trying to maintain this facade, so cracks are appearing, and you'll see this little smirk. It's when people know they're getting away with something, or at least think they are.
A murder's a murderer. Who could forgive somebody that's murdered one of their children?
For 18 months, Mitchell Quai arrogantly denied his guilt.
Like, bless them as well, the family, like, obviously this would devastate any family, but it seems like this family, like, is particularly hard hit by this tragic event, and the dad himself has spent years, from what I believe, I think a long time anyway, searching for the body himself, which is just really sad, really tragic.
He lied to the police, the press, and to Lindsay's family.
I know the truth. I'm the only one who does know the truth.
We spent the last months of Mitchell Quai's freedom documenting the life of a prime suspect who thought he'd got away with murder.
What's bad as well, what makes it even worse, is that he's then the primary carer for the kids afterwards, and it's just so awkward seeing the exchange of where the kids go to see their grandparents. It's just so, there's something really devastating and tragic about it.
Tonight on Real Life, we reveal Mitchell's cruel campaign.
That's her mum. As they would say up where they're from, that's her mum.
And we join Lindsay's family on a search
that's
to find
her brother.
out the truth of what happened
that's her
to
dad.
their daughter.
I want to see him.
That's the scumbag.
Behind bars. But I also
it's almost like he can't stop the duping smile, you know, like I keep seeing this smirk on his face when he's on camera.
And we join Lindsay's family on a search to find out the truth of what happened to their daughter.
I want to see him behind bars. But I also want to know where my daughter is, so we can bury her.
Oh, you can tell how old school this is, man. Not only because it's like a square, like not only because it's not widescreen, like you can tell by like the music, like everything about it. This is like proper 90s, man. Man, that's so nostalgic for some reason. I don't think I ever saw it when I was a kid.
Now, mother of 2 Lindsay Quai disappeared.
1999. Okay, so it's a bit older than I thought. It's like around the millennium. So I would have been about 8, I think, 7 or 8, something like that.
Christmas Day last year. The police, after months of searching for Lindsay, are now treating it as a murder inquiry. And as a result, they've dug up her husband Mitchell's garden and scoured his house, convinced that she's dead. They have yet to find a body. Mitchell is the only one, in fact, who believes that she's still alive, and he's here with us now.
Oh,
Mitchell,
he went on TV. I forgot. Oh no.
Why do you think they seem to be so convinced that you're, what do they call you, a legitimate suspect?
Yeah, well, I suppose they say the husband's always the suspect. You should know by now that TV cameras do not lie. Each time you have
Duping smile.
appeared on TV, your facial and body language.
I'm pretty sure as well, like before he started talking, he pursed his lips and he sucked his lips in, which can be a sign that you're holding something back and guilt. But it could just as easily be a sign that he's just nervous about being on television.
He's still alive, and he's here with us now. Mitchell, why do you think they seem to be so convinced that you're, what do they call you, a legitimate suspect?
Yeah, well, I suppose they say the husband's always the suspect. You should know by now that TV cameras do not lie. Each time you have appeared on TV, Your facial and body language tells the viewer that you have murdered your wife.
Did you kill her?
No.
Why would you walk out on the kids as well?
Why would you like laugh at a question like that? Like, I suppose it's his way of like thinking, huh, what? That's preposterous. Like, you know what I mean? Like preposterous. I don't know what the word is. Usually an innocent person will react in a really, really forceful, like they're offended manner. But he's almost trying. I think from what I can remember, he acts in a way where he's trying to appease people.
TV, your facial and body language
Trying to
tells
come
the viewer
across
that
calm,
you have
so he's not
murdered your
capable
wife.
of killing anyone.
Did you kill her?
No.
Why would you walk out on the kids as well?
I don't know. It's a question you could only ask Lindsay. But your children deserve to know where their mother's remains are.
She
Do
wouldn't.
you
She
think
loved her
you're
kids,
in your
man.
own mind that she could possibly be dead?
No, not at all.
Okay, that's suspicious, because if she's gone missing and has left her kids, of course she could be dead. He just doesn't want people to think she's dead, because then people will hopefully think that she's disappeared. So of course you would think, of course, if your wife just leaves the kids, you are going to be so panicky, and you're gonna it will get to a certain point where you're just like, no, okay, I think she's dead. You wouldn't want to believe it at first, but like you would get to that point, because you wouldn't want to believe, even if you wouldn't want to believe she would leave you, let alone the children. So it's very suspicious that he's saying that he doesn't think she's dead. And she's just not the type to, like, from what you can tell later on throughout this, she is just not the type of mum to just leave her kids like that. If she was going to leave him, she would definitely not leave her kids with him, because she was thinking about leaving him, and I think did leave him multiple times, because he's a violent guy. She would not leave the kids with him. If she was going to leave him, she would take the kids, 100%.
You are a clever murderer who found time to dispose of a body long before the police got involved and all the clues were lost. We all know you did it. Signed, Justice Once.
Did you kill Lindsay?
I'm not going to answer that. I'm not going to answer that question.
He's got that duping smile again. Look out for that, man. It's not a funny topic, so I don't know why you're smiling.
You too. You make up your own mind, because eventually everyone will find out.
Oh.
Southport, Christmas Eve 1999. It was the end of a difficult year for 24-year-old Mitchell Quay. He claimed that his wife Lindsay walked out on him a year ago, abandoning him and her 2 young children on Christmas Day.
A lot of incidents happen around Christmas, don't they? It gets heated. There's a lot of family disputes and stuff like that around Christmas and New Year's. So it obviously reached a boiling point, and he snapped. I don't like. He's a violent guy from the sounds of it. From this, and he likes to drink as well. From what I can remember.
Right, Jack.
Actually, Mitchell had killed her.
Oh my word! Look at the state. Just to add some levity, look at the state of that television
abandoning
camera.
him and her 2 young children on Christmas Day.
Look at the state of this television camera. Look at that. That's a monstrosity. Like nowadays, they're like professional filmmakers. They use a camera that's like the size of like 2 DSLRs. That's a beast, and it's only filming in like square, like not even widescreen.
Actually, Mitchell had killed her and was using the image of an abandoned father for public sympathy, callously promoting the lie that Lindsay was still alive.
If Lindsay was dead, they would have found her by now, especially after all the searches and everything they've done. Husbands do kill their wives, but unfortunately for them...
Lindsay's devastated family knew it was a lie.
Imagine sitting there while he's like with your grandkids, and you know what he's done, and the pain, like I can't even begin to imagine, man. Like it's written all over their faces. Like it's got to be so painful.
do to try and help.
This is where he comes to pick up his grandkids, and he
Her
refuses.
father Peter was never in any doubt about his daughter's fate, and he wasted no opportunity to prick Mitchell's conscience.
Oh, it's not. No. He refuses to go inside the house because he doesn't want to show any respect to Mitchell at all. So when he picks up the kids, he waits outside.
Put up by me.
for Mitchell's benefit, so that every day...
You probably can't even understand his accent if you're in America. He put that picture up there near Mitchell's house to try and sear Mitchell's conscience every day.
His life, he saw a picture of Lindsay. You must do something to the conscience if you are responsible for doing something to somebody and you see the picture face every day. It's going to have some effect on you.
Yeah, so I just realised a lot of Americans and people from around the world are probably going to have trouble understanding their heavy accent. Like, you might have enough trouble as it is understanding what I'm saying half the time, but these guys have got a really thick accent, so you might have to turn the captions on.
And that was the idea.
If he thinks that I've killed his daughter, I wouldn't sit in the same room as the guy. But one day he'll be on my doorstep apologising.
For almost a year, Merseyside police had been searching and digging, but they could find nothing, no body, and no evidence of foul play. Without a body, they had an almost impossible task to prove that she was not just missing, but actually dead.
My view is if we've got the body, we've got the man. I don't believe for 1 minute that Lindsay's gone out on Christmas Eve and has come back in on Christmas Day and abandoned those children. She loved the children. I don't believe that. What is frustrating for me is I know she's dead.
That's my mummy.
It breaks my heart because I don't know if one day I'm going to have to turn around to Robin and say, look, some psycho's killed your mum. You know, I wouldn't put it exactly like that, but I know how I felt when I lost my mum. With her being so young, I suppose it's different, but...
That makes it even worse. Like, he's lost his own mum and then he will do that. Like, that makes it as if it can get any worse.
I just don't know what to say to her anymore. I don't know what.
He's covering his mouth, which is can be a sign of deception as well, and then he's doing a self-soothing, self-pacifying behaviour by rubbing his lips and his chin.
Lindsay was the youngest daughter in the Wilson family of 6 children.
She was a fun-loving, outgoing, outspoken. She wasn't shy, not as she got older. She was as a baby. I mean, if anyone went to get her, she'd run off shouting her dad.
In February 1995, Lindsay was only 17 when she became pregnant by her first serious boyfriend. They got engaged.
Most of the time.
That's her sister on the left.
She was happy about it.
Wait, let me go back.
25, Lindsay was only 17 when she became pregnant by her first serious boyfriend. They got engaged.
Most of the time she was happy about it.
Most of the time she was happy about it. I don't think you would have got that.
Think of abortion or anything like that.
She didn't think of abortion. She was pregnant and that was it.
But Lindsay had second thoughts about
man, I probably should write a subtitle track for this.
Marriage, and broke off the engagement.
And I should probably stop interrupting halfway through. I'm sorry, let me go back.
Serious boyfriend. They got engaged.
Most of the time she was happy about it. You know, she didn't think of abortion or anything like that. She was pregnant and that was it.
But Lindsay had second thoughts about the marriage and broke off the engagement. 5 months pregnant, living alone and frightened about her future, she met Mitchell Quay, a 20-year-old croupier.
The first thing that attracted me to Lindsay, I think, smile. And I saw her, and I was like, oh, God, oh, she's gorgeous, and I fell in love. And from that night on, we were never apart. That was it. A week later, we were engaged. About a week later after that, the wedding was set. And
sounds like he, often this is what happens in these psycho relationships. Like, the psycho, love bombs the other person so much to get them hooked in. And then once they're hooked in, they get abusive. And to get, engaged within a week, that suggests that he put it on, fully put it on.
We were married after 5 weeks. It was a big...
Oh no, video's frozen, isn't it?
That was it. A week later, we were engaged. About a week later after that, the wedding was set, and we were married after 5 weeks.
What? That is insane.
It was a big step,
They were married on the 1st of August 1995. Mitchell had no family at his wedding, apart from his younger brother, Elliot.
That says a lot, though. Don't get me wrong, I don't really have, much family to speak of, but, if only his brother turns up, that must mean like he's for whatever reason he's had a lot of dysfunctional relationships, and I know his mum's dead, but like you'd think someone would turn up, like, or some friends or something, like but he's probably ruined all the relationships he's had.
Ah, now then, these are Lindsay's wedding photographs. Now Peter, that's his brother Elliot. Lindsay, Mitch. Lindsay on the rebound, that's what it was. Even that day ended up with a big argument at the end of the night.
Oh wow. When they say like our Peter or our whatever, it just means like it's just like saying that Peter that I know, like you know, like it's like a familial sort of term. Oh, he didn't even look happy in the the dad didn't look happy in the picture. It looked like he was trying
Lindsay
to put on a
rebound,
smile.
that's what it was.
Looked like he was trying to put on a
Even
smile
that
for
day
his
ended up with
daughter.
a big argument at the end of the night.
Oh, you can tell he knew. He's really red in the face. You can tell he knew. He's not happy at all. Like, it's almost as if he saw something tragic coming. Not maybe to this degree, but you know, like he knew it wasn't going to end well.
So maybe that was a sign of things to come.
Yeah, arguing on your wedding night's not really a good sign,
Just can't
is it?
believe it's happened to us. You read about these things in the papers and you have pity for the families. And the next thing you know, it's happened to us.
Yeah, it's her brother.
I sometimes sit there in the back porch and I look out on the garden and things spring into mind, like Lindsay's cold somewhere.
Oh,
All the
bless her.
families are victim, aren't they? So the way it's affected my family, especially my son Peter, really taken it bad. He's not the same boy he was. It's really affected Paula. And a dad who doesn't say much, but at the end of the day, I think it'll affect him more.
I just asked him where he's put Lindsay. Just ask him to be a man and tell us where she is. Own up to what he's done. Because at the end of the day, he's going to pay the price of what he's done.
By January 2000, over a year after Lindsay's disappearance, Mitchell decided he'd finally enough press exposure.
So you can tell this is old school because like he's got no qualms about smoking in front of the like in the house with the children. I remember that's old school. That's back in the day. I'm just trying to add some levity because this is just so tragic.
What he's done.
By January 2000, over a year after Lindsay's disappearance, Mitchell decided he'd finally enough press exposure.
This is me saying I didn't want to be in the newspapers anymore.
He's had his
saying
fun.
I've had time to think over Christmas.
He's got his documentary. That's probably what he was hoping for, and now he's done. He thinks he's set for life now. He doesn't have to worry about the issue anymore. No one's gonna find out. The documentary's gonna somehow dupe everyone.
Just leave it to them now.
I would describe Mitchell as an egotist. I mean, he's always seeking publicity. I understand that he keeps all sorts of newspaper cuttings at his home. And for me,
psycho.
He's just basking in all this notoriety.
The police have been going around interviewing all of the people that I've ever slept with and stuff like that.
What do you expect, bro?
I mean, I know they're clutching at straws now, like, but what do they think? I shagged her to death or something?
Oh,
Do you know what I mean?
this is disgusting. I forgot about this part, yeah? So shagged obviously means like, I don't know if you in the US like use the term, but it's like having sex, yeah? And that is just such an inappropriate comment. And then knowing what actually happened in hindsight makes it all the more abhorrent.
Slept with and stuff like that. I mean, I know they're clutching at straws now, like, but what do they think? I shagged her to death or something? Do you know what I mean?
Oh my word, man, I'm getting angry, bro.
Lindsay was last seen alive on the 15th of December 1998. She was a regular at the corner shop.
Perhaps about a week or 10 days before Christmas, I remember seeing Lindsay. And after that, and all of a sudden, I never seen her at all after that.
Lindsay was reported missing by a social worker on February the 5th, 1999. She had not been seen for 53 days, and Mitchell had said nothing to her family.
Why did he not tell us? He was so fond of coming down.
That is so suspicious, man. That she goes missing and he doesn't report it to the police. It takes a social worker reporting it. I think because she was with him, it was it was a bit tense between her and her family because of they didn't want her to be with him, so it was a bit tense, and they understood not seeing her in so much time. But obviously, like the fact there's even a social worker involved, says a lot, which I'm guessing is something to do with the domestic violence that he's perpetrated in the past. So it's just, doesn't that scream suspicion that he wouldn't call the police? And then him saying on television that he doesn't think she's dead even after all that time. What else does he think? She wouldn't just leave her kids like that.
Passing messages in the past, give these flowers to Lindsay, give this note to Lindsay. So why didn't he tell anybody?
Lindsay's family, they're the last people I'd contact. Why would I contact Lindsay's family? Lindsay's family, we just don't like each other.
Mitchell claimed Lindsay was still alive and that he'd seen her in an unbelievable series of coincidences.
There was a picture of Lindsay on the front of the Visitor, and he turned and says to me, "She'll have to come forward now." He said, "Because I've seen her in the marketplace and she's been seen in the black Mercedes."
As I come round here, Lindsay was the front seat passenger.
I said, "Well, if that's the case then, if you've seen her, where's the rest of the people that's seen her?"
She was here. There. So that's when she said, "Call me a fucking wanker," that's where she was stood by me.
And he says, "Well," I said, "so you're trying to tell me then there's some dishonest people out there?" He says, "Yes." I says, "Bullshit." I said, "I don't believe it."
Oh man, I got to give respect to him. A lot of corner shop owners in the UK are kind of a bit no nonsense, but this guy's yeah, no, I got to give him respect for that, man. People should be grilling him. It's pretty obvious.
She was stood by me.
And he says, "Well," I said, "so you're trying to tell me then there's some dishonest people out there?" He says, "Yes." I says, "Bullshit." I said, "I don't believe it." And off he went.
The accent's really strong. I'm sorry, guys.
Police
Nothing I can do
also
about it.
didn't believe him. They were convinced he had murdered her, and he was arrested on February the 27th, 1999.
He says, "Well, as you know, we've been looking for Lindsay for a few months now, and we've had no sign of her, so we're arresting you on suspicion of murder, incitement to cause grievous bodily harm, and fraud."
Now, he willingly admitted the fraud.
Not funny. He was laughing about it, man.
Because he couldn't escape the fact that he had forged Lindsay's signature on her benefit books after the Christmas time.
Mitchell said nothing, and most of the charges were dropped for lack of evidence, but he was convicted of the fraud.
I'm doing community service for cashing cheques out of Lindsay's account, claiming income support, which I was entitled to anyway.
Yeah, you're not entitled to cash it in someone else's name, though, you flipping idiot. It's fraud. What do you think you're above? He does think he's above the law, let's be honest.
It wasn't in my name.
You deserve a lot more than community service, mate.
Me having to do this, leaving me with the kids. I wouldn't piss on her if she was on fire.
Whoa! Whoa! I thought he was talking about the people who gave him community service at first. No way did he just say that her leaving me with the kids, I wouldn't piss on her if she was on fire. No way did he just say that.
Me having to do this, leaving me with the kids. I wouldn't piss on her if she was on fire.
He even seemed to blame her for having to do the community service. He was leaving me to do this. Mate, you're the one who I nearly cussed. I'm trying so hard not to cuss. You're the one who fraudulently cashed benefits checks, yeah? And you're the one who killed her, and you're blaming it all on her. That is just disgusting, man. I don't even want to replay it because it's that horrible. Mitchell had narrowly
escaped a murder charge. His confidence grew, and local people began to believe his story.
Folk that come in the shop
seem to get the opinion now, perhaps, has he done anything? Has she just disappeared? Has she run away?
No.
Mitchell had made many enemies, but he could still rely on his oldest friend for support.
What?
I think she's gone away. The police, it's their job, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days of the year to catch criminals.
I really don't think that this guy actually knows, like, no matter how close he is to Mitchell, I think he's in for a shock. I mean, you know, there's always the potential that he does know, but I don't think Mitchell would say to him. And the lad seems nice enough from what I can tell. I know you can't really tell much from a video, but from one little video, but you know.
It's his job to look after his family. And if there was shredded evidence, this man wouldn't be now sat in Walton.
It's like every time they started a new search, like you see Jeff Sloan in the newspapers or like on the television saying, we are confident that we are going to find something to do. That's why I bought him some Just for Men, because, you know, like a change of colour, you know, but you know, might improve his confidence a bit.
You'd have to be seriously insane there if you'd done something wrong, because he's going to slam you for that.
Yeah, he basically is alluding to the fact that he sent some hair dye to the lead investigator as just to, like, take the piss out of him, basically.
Well, he sent me this, and it's not even my hair colouring. And here I am, as a senior investigating officer, trying to find this man's missing wife. And he's really goading me.
It's like some proper serial killer. I'm not saying he is a serial killer. He probably isn't, but like he was probably capable of becoming one. Like that's some serial killer behaviour, man. I don't think he would have become a serial killer necessarily, but he may have got with he would have got with another lass in the future, and I think he's been with quite a few lasses since. But there was always a potential that his rage could blow up again and he could kill someone else again. I don't think he'd purposely become a serial killer, but he's got that in him. That's like serial killer behaviour.
By January 2000, Mitchell had good reason to be even more confident.
Lindsay Hunt has stalled the investigation into the disappearance of Bert Lindsay.
Oh no, bless her. Her daughter's coming up and seeing her dead mum in the paper on this documentary, and the kids are going to watch this documentary when they're older. Like, I think that last poor lass must be about the same age I was around then, and to think that this is now on the internet and it's just terrible.
The police, with no success, stopped digging. Lindsay's father, however, refused to give up. Every spare moment was used in what appeared to be a fruitless search.
We've done family searches, been in lakes, ditches, canals, woods. Spent hours and hours and hours digging, wading through stinking water and everything. You can see that these fields here are only just round the corner from where Lindsay lives. That's the way the police think about it, anyway.
In August 1995, Mitchell and Lindsay's first home was a small flat in Boundary Street, Southport. Her daughter, Robin, from a previous relationship, was born. Immediately, the marriage to Mitchell started to fail.
I mean, at first, he did come across as this, nice bloke.
Charming.
Until all the violence and that started, then saw another side to him.
She wanted him out the flat. And I said, you've only just got married, give it a chance. And she said, you don't understand, he hits me.
He hits her.
1 year after Robin was born, Lindsay discovered she was pregnant to Mitchell. But by now she had serious doubts about her marriage to him.
She told me it was Mitch's child, but she wouldn't bring it into the world the way things were at home.
You know, I was going around telling everyone absolutely completely made up. We got home that night and she told me she was going to have an abortion. To cut a long story short, she had an abortion and I left her.
I thought she was a very strong, brave girl, because she had to cope with that on her own.
I bet he really, really wanted to, because I'm not a fan of abortion, but I'm not going to say it's wrong in all cases. I'm not, like, making a stance on abortion, generally speaking, or in this case. But I think he was angry that she had an abortion, Because if she had a child that was actually his, that's just further that his claws are sinking into her, and she wanted to escape out of that. So you can't really, if you do have a problem with abortion, you can't blame her for at least thinking about it, let alone doing it. Like, I'm not like making a stance either way, because I don't want to get political on this channel, but you know, like, I sympathise with her, and I can understand why, and I can understand why he was angry about it, and I don't think it was because of just reasons. I think it was because he wanted to be able to manipulate her even more. So the whole situation is kind of twisted.
At the time, she wasn't having any contact with me, my mum or my dad.
Sickened me, really did. Absolutely sickened me.
There's something that would argue that all those circumstantial chain of events gives you an extremely powerful motive.
Yeah, it gives me motive, and I can understand being a suspect, but I'm not going to stand here and protest my innocence with anyone, because I don't need to.
Yeah, you would.
Yes, it gives me motive. I've said this all along. I can understand being a suspect.
Turns around like grinning, like reveling, and then like he's got the gall to be so like blasé and like, oh, it's just like. I don't even have any words. And you would protest your innocence if you were getting accused of doing something so heinous. You would like absolutely be protesting your innocence.
I'm bothered being a suspect. All I want to do is find out where Lindsay is. It does give me motive. I've never argued with that. But it's just sad. I mean, do you know what? I mean, any idea what I felt like when this first began? People accusing me, well, not accusing, but saying things in the newspapers about people talking about me, people thinking I killed me. Do you have any idea what it felt like? How much I had to...
Oh, well on you.
I've walked out my front door, and how many times I've thought to myself, I just can't, I don't want to walk out there with people looking at me, thinking I've done something like that to my wife. Any idea what that feels like?
He I don't know if you caught it. He sort of about 20 seconds ago, sort of half sucked in his lips before he said something, which can be a sign of deception. Then he covered his mouth and did a self-comforting behaviour with rubbing his chin. He's actually surprisingly good at his smile is what gives him away. His stooping smile and his inappropriate laughs and times to smile. That's what gives him away to me. But in terms of other body language cues, he's actually like not that bad at giving it a shot at like duping people. I don't know why he thought going on a documentary and having so much scrutiny on him would be a good idea, because anyone can tell he's guilty, I'm pretty sure. I don't think it's just in hindsight. I think you can just tell. And I think people at the time, the majority of people watching this at home would have had a strong inkling that something suspicious was going on.
Mitchell never forgave her for aborting his child. He beat her, and she took out an injunction against him. After just a year of marriage, Mitchell walked out, leaving Lindsay alone for the Christmas of 1996.
That was his days when he'd sleep around. I used to have Lindsay down at mine saying to me, I can't go in this shop, I can't go in that shop, because every shop I go in, there's someone he slept with. This was while he was married to her.
That can be another sign of a psychopath, like sleeping around. I'm not saying if you sleep around you're a psychopath. It's just like it can be one of the traits. He's obviously he finds it very easy to charm people, not just women, just people in general. And he thinks he can do that to the public at home. But I think his ego and his pride kind of got a bit ahead of him there. Oh, that just scared me. Are they filming that because it looks macabre or what? Like, because that's just given the context of the documentary, that I don't like that.
Even under
I need to get that
suspicion
off
of
the
murder,
screen.
Mitchell kept up his old habits.
I'm not going to deny it. I've not been completely celibate over the last anything but. You get offered it on a plate, you take it.
Am I the only one who finds like a body in the mud, like really uncomfortable to like look at, like given the circumstances of this case, and her dad like looking around in the mud. Like, do you think? Yeah, comment below. Do you think they focused in on a shot of that to give that sort of uncomfortable, edgy edge to it, or what? Because that like fucking. Just cussed. That hit me hard. That did. As soon as I saw that, I imagined Lindsay like in the mud somewhere. Like that's just cussed, man. man, I'm gonna have to take note of when this was so I can edit it out. 1709.
She said it actually turned her on. The fact she didn't know.
Oh no, this is horrible. Listen to this.
Habits.
I'm not going to deny it. I've not been completely celibate over the last year, anything but. You get offered it on a plate, you take it. The one woman turned around to me and said, I don't care if you have done it. She said it actually turned her on. The fact she didn't know if I'd done it or not. And so I kicked her out.
Whoa. I don't believe he kicked her out because he sucked in his lips as soon as he said that. I reckon he got off on that. Like, what is it with because don't get me wrong, I'm not saying this is purely a female thing, because like I like bad girls, yeah, like, and a lot of men like bad girls, yeah, but like, what is it with women liking bad boys, but more than bad boys, like psycho serial killer bad boys? What is with that? Like, and they write, and a lot of the time it's not like they're like necessarily like it's just, I don't get it, man. I don't get it. Like, well, I do get it because I do kind of like bad girls, so I do kind of get it. But I would not like a killer, like a serial killer or a killer or someone who's done something heinous. Like, you know, like that's a bit. I was just pushing it a bit far, if you ask me.
In their desperation to find her, Lindsay's family sought any help they could get.
Letters off people. Psychics' drawings of where she might be buried. People seem to know what's gone on, but they don't know where the body is. Well, they've given drawings or things like that, but it could be anywhere.
Yeah, and what's even worse, pardon me, is there's psychics and so-called psychics and mediums scamming this poor lass, like getting money off this poor lass, pretending that they're gonna vaguely help with finding Lindsay. Like, there's something really, really abhorrent about that.
Just a lot of the psychics have said she's surrounded by water. There's that much water in Southport. Where do you look?
It's because they're pulling it out their arse, like, obviously. I mean, you can't blame them. They're obviously desperate, so they're willing to try anything. But like, it's like that's probably one of the most obvious things they could have said about where she is, like in an area like that.
Just wish she could come to us and tell us where she is. She must be able to come and visit one of the members of our family. Like she said herself to the psychic, it's hard to find me. So he has done a good job, really.
She didn't say that to the psychic. The psychic said that.
Oh, hang on. Your ghost.
Yeah.
Oh, that's. There's something. Oh man, there's something weird about that. Like I don't believe this, but like Lindsay's coming back to haunt him through his daughter. Like, I don't believe it. Like, but like that's something really like what's the word I'm looking for? Almost deathly poetic about it.
In April 1997, after 5 lonely months, Lindsay took Mitchell back.
When we first got back together, it was brilliant. Lindsay wanted a baby, I wasn't too sure. She fell pregnant pretty quick. I was very dubious because I didn't, after what had happened when she got pregnant the first time, I couldn't accept it in a lot of ways.
You can tell he's a master manipulator for her to be that set on not being with him before and then get roped back in again. You can't. I don't blame her at all. Like, I think he's just like a master manipulator, and that's why he had the gall to get on this documentary, because of his ego and his ability to manipulate people. Because most people who thought they got away with murder, they wouldn't then get on the documentary, because like that takes pride and hubris, because you wouldn't want the extra scrutiny on you, because there'd be a more chance that people would think you'd done it, or you'd slip up. But this guy's that big-headed in his ability to manipulate and control people. He thinks he can manipulate and control the entire country. But I don't know, because I was so young back then. I was probably the same age as that lass, bless her. And so I don't remember this being like in the news or whatever. But I'm wondering what the general public opinion was, especially after this documentary was released.
But late one night, Mitchell's violence snapped again. By now, Lindsay was 4 months pregnant.
No, don't tell me he attacked. I know it's bad enough him attacking her anyway. But like, don't tell me he attacked her when she was pregnant.
I couldn't accept it in a lot of ways.
But late one night, Mitchell's violence snapped again. By now, Lindsay was 4 months pregnant.
Entering the House of Horrors. The House of Horror. Look at them messes.
That's almost foreboding, like that she's calling it the House of Horrors.
Lindsay's footsteps going out, and then I looked out the window and she was running down the road with Robin. And then I heard banging. All them windows were smashed. There was a door lying out here. Glass on the road from the car being smashed.
Wow.
Blood on the paintwork. Because he used his fists.
Where's the doors gone?
I just completely lost the plot. Went absolutely berserk. Absolutely mental.
I've said to Lindsay, if you'd have been in that house, he would have killed you, and one day he's going to kill you.
To me, I always felt there's a spark of uncertainty and spontaneity about Mitchell that fascinated her or thrilled her. And although there was the inherent danger of the spontaneous violence towards her, after long periods of separation, she sort of craved that spark again.
They were both evicted, but they stayed together for their son Jack's birth in October 1997. It was to be a temporary lull. The following year, Mitchell walked out for good.
Mate, is it just me? Yeah, like like if my wife, especially if she was pregnant, yeah, like was like, I mean, I get the whole spinning around for a laugh and all that, yeah. But the minute she nearly hits her head on the radiator, I'm stopping her, yeah. Like, let alone like letting her get near a window that I've smashed in and that's covered up with a flipping bin bag, like, and could have fallen out of. Like, yeah, he said watch out for the window, but as soon as she nearly hit her head on the floor and ended up in A&E, I would have been like stopping her from like nearly coming out a window. It's almost like he maybe even wanted to see it happen.
Certainty and spontaneity about Mitchell that fascinated her or thrilled her.
I get that part.
There was the inherent danger of the spontaneous violence towards her. After long periods of separation, she sort of craved that spark again.
She nearly went out the window, mate.
They were both evicted, but they stayed together for their son Jack's birth in October 1997. It was to be a temporary lull. The following year, Mitchell walked out for good.
I expected us to get divorced. I expect that to be it, out of the way, gone, over and done with.
That was a bit callous how he said that, as if he'd be able to just get a divorce and not have any like strings still attached or any emotions still, like the way he said that.
Peter Wilson lived a mile from Mitchell's home, and every week he had to collect Lindsay's children. It was a painful journey to face the man he was convinced had killed his daughter.
I can go round and take the kids off him and try and keep as calm as possible. I mean, for the sake of the kids, my sake, and Lindsay's sake.
I bet if it weren't for the kids, he would have gotten violent with him by now, and I can't blame him.
Hatred, I think. That's the feeling that I feel for him. It's
I'll go back because you might have trouble understanding
his
him.
Daughter.
I can go round and take the kids off him and try and keep as calm as possible.
Try and keep as calm as possible.
For the sake of the kids, my sake,
of the kids,
and Lindsay's sake. Hatred, I think.
hatred,
That's
I
the
think.
feeling that I feel for him.
That's the feeling that I'm feeling for him.
It's a feeling that you've got to keep under control.
Sorry if I'm being patronising, yeah. It's just like I really do feel like some people would have trouble understanding some of the accents in this. He's got a really
Sometimes
thick.
It's harder to do than others. I'd never go in the house.
Sometimes it's harder to deal with than others.
If you said you want to come in and wait for them, I'd always wait outside.
If he says, do you want to come in and wait for him, I wait outside.
Are you ready? Come on, Joe.
Kiss.
Ooh, good. Kiss.
You good?
You've got the pyjamas and all that?
Yeah, I've got all the stuff. No, there's cream in there for his back.
I'd like him to come in and sit down and talk. But he won't. I couldn't walk up to the front door and face the person who I think killed my daughter. I couldn't do that. So I suppose if he really is telling the truth to an extent, then I admire the guy in a way.
Sucked in his lips again. That's a really, really deceptive sign.
Me.
No.
No, Mummy.
Lindsay was never away from her children. She took them everywhere she went. She'd walk for miles with the double buggy.
Mummy.
She looked after them really well.
Mummy.
Mitchell was never there for the children. Never.
There.
It's upsetting when she says, I can't find me mummy, can you help me find me mummy?
Oh, no.
She thinks she's at Grandad's. She was sat on the kitchen floor and she said to me, my mummy's dead. And I said, who's told you that, Robin? She said, I can't remember. And she was in like a daze. And then she wouldn't answer anything else after that.
Many people had their own suspicions about what happened to Lindsay. Late one night in January 2000, Mitchell received an anonymous phone call.
Hello, is that Mitchell? Mitchell Quay? Yeah, well, something you should know, Mitchell. We know you're guilty. Your conscience, it must be burning in you what you have done to that poor girl. You're an animal. You're a beast. You're the devil. And your conscience will destroy you.
Keeps sucking in his lips and laughing and inappropriately and smiling inappropriately. This would make most people furious if they were innocent.
Justice will be served.
They're sick and things like that. Sick.
It almost looked as if that actually hit him a little bit there. Like he doesn't seem. It looks almost like that kind of actually hit him differently then. He's lost colour to his face and he's lost this cocky confidence. Like I think that there was a bit of pressure there, man.
They're sick and things like that.
See what I mean?
Idiots.
Yeah, that
I
hit him
will get
differently.
After what he's put us through this last 12 months.
He said he will get him.
It's a joke.
13 months after Lindsay's disappearance, Mitchell was desperate to know if the police had any new lines of inquiry. So he spoke to the investigation team. It's a remarkable call from a prime suspect in a murder inquiry.
Am I still under suspicion of murder? I mean, am I still a suspect in this murder inquiry?
They're not going to tell you,
Is
really,
there any other suspect? I mean, I'm not asking for names. Oh, no, it's nothing specific. It's just, I mean, if you can understand the situation I'm in, I mean, the police have made it basically publicly known that they think I've murdered my wife, haven't they, really? Is everyone working on the inquiry? Have they all given up on finding Lindsay alive?
The strain was now also telling on Lindsay's family.
You can tell in his face he's not happy, he's worried. He looks worried every time.
Does he sit and think what it's doing to us, though?
No.
Just because we weren't close-knit family or anything doesn't mean at the end of the day you're not going to feel it, because I tell you what, you feel it even worse.
Yeah, I think she's alluding to the fact that, like, I can picture this, like, you'd think, oh man, we could have been closer. We missed out on the time that we did have, and so I see what she's saying. I'm not like agreeing or disagreeing. I'm just like I can see what she's saying.
What goes around.
Close-knit family or anything doesn't mean at the end of the day you're not going to feel it, because I tell you what, you feel it even worse.
You know what they say, what goes around comes around.
If someone knew that it had happened, surely to God they'd see us on the telly appealing for her and the papers and come forward and say, look. Or on the news you see someone's missing and you say, oof, that's a bit dicey, she's dead.
After months of mounting pressure, Mitchell had decided to go on the offensive against the police. He invited a journalist from a local paper to his house and presented his news story.
Right. Here there's been some developments regarding the legal aspect of the case. I'm sorry, good.
Missing mum, husband just sued. 1 minute he's leaving it to the police to sort it out. Now he's suing the police because of arresting him or something.
Is it right to arrest someone with no evidence?
Bro,
no evidence whatsoever.
Like, he's not a solicitor.
Not one thing.
Can't understand it really, because
they did. You committed fraud, man. Like I think like they just wanted to get you in, put some pressure on you. So when they had something tangible and solid, I'm guessing that's what happened. They like as soon as they found out about the fraud, they're like, right, we can nab him and then hopefully put the pressure on him and get him to confess. I highly doubt. I don't know. I could be wrong, but I don't think he actually got arrested for the murder. I think he got arrested for the fraud, but it was sort of for the murder. They just used the fraud as a foot in the door, so to speak. I could be completely wrong about that, but like that's how I've seen other things happen.
He was arrested and charged with 3 offences and was convicted of 2 of them.
So what was your time?
Oh no, okay, sorry, I got that completely wrong. He was charged with the murder.
When you were in custody,
it was horrible. You can.
I think like in America though, they wouldn't have gone as far to charge him with the murder because there's no body. Am I right in saying that? Like there's there would have been not enough evidence for the state's attorney to prosecute. Or the state prosecutor to prosecute. Am I right in saying that? Someone please, I am far from a legal expert, yeah? Someone please tell me if I'm just being stupid.
Because he was arrested and charged with 3 offences and was convicted of 2 of them.
So what was your time like when you were in custody?
It was horrible. You can imagine. I mean, I've never been in the cells before that time.
It says like, I've never been in a cell before. Oh. I'm sure that when he was arrested for the damage did to Lindsay's house in Boundary Street, he was put in a cell.
I will not stop until they either apologise to me or I get compensated because I think I deserved it. I've been branded a murderer in this town by them.
This is just the sort of article now that will stir all the family up now.
I've got to the point now, the more pressure they put on me, the stronger I'm getting, and the more determined I am to find Lindsay and sue the balls off the police. I've had enough of Jeff Sloan.
Well, I'm very frustrated by it, but I mean, I'm experienced enough now to know that he hasn't got a leg to stand on in terms of suing the police.
Make sure you get that what I'm thinking about proving it.
About proving it, yeah. I think that's probably going to be one of the lines we use, yeah.
Or maybe the headline.
I'll have a look through it. Yeah. I just think the headline on Wednesday is probably going to be something. Mitchell sues police or something. Or to sue police.
So what's happening there?
I've got legal aid. We're getting a barrister up. Asking for advice, innit? We've got a strong case, really strong case. So.
It's chatting at your
Well,
arse.
just tell me this, and what does Lindsay's dad think of it all?
He think, well, from what I know, I mean, I've never sat down. I've asked him to come into my house and sit down and talk to me, but he won't. I mean, it's like I've said, I've started saying to the police, do you think I have done something to Lindsay and prove it?
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to stand here and start saying, oh, I'm innocent. Yeah.
We've got nothing. Yeah.
Right, cheers,
okay,
Arthur.
All right, ta-ra.
When Lindsay and Mitchell split up in April 1998, she was so scared of him that she was given a personal attack alarm.
I think the only reason anyone has ever even been cordial with him is because he has the kids with him the whole time. Like, and they don't want to, yeah, like, I think that's the only reason. I think I don't think anyone would be having any of it. He might have even got some sort of vigilante justice, let me get my words out. Vigilante justice, that sounds like such a weird thing to say. Vigilante justice, like, if he didn't have the kids, like, so, like, and even that guy on the voice recording, I reckon he would have been, he maybe would have made death threats if he didn't have the kids. I don't know, like. Let me try to say it again. Vigilante justice. That's it. There we go. We've got it. Vigilante justice.
When Lindsay and Mitchell split up in April 1998, she was so scared of him that she was given a personal attack alarm. Woman's Aid helped her to find a new home, and she was soon making a new life for herself.
The house was just a children's house. As you walked in through the front door, there was toys everywhere. As soon as her birthday had finished, she would plan for Christmas. She was a very loving mum, very loving. She talked about the hell she'd gone through, that she'd been beaten by Mitchell. I got the impression that Mitchell was violent, horrible, scary, not fit to be around women.
And this was at mine, wasn't it? Lindsay described Mitch as being very cool until he snapped. Very violent. That was enough for us to not want him to know who we were or where we lived or who our children were, and that he was someone that should be feared. She was frightened. She was a frightened young woman.
In the summer of 1998, Mitchell was working at Southport Pleasureland. He was desperate to see Lindsay again.
I asked to see the kids. I was absolutely gutted. She wouldn't let me see them. It was the only way she knew she could get to me.
Jack's first birthday in October gave Mitchell the opportunity to get back into Lindsay's life.
To be completely honest with you, I didn't want anything out of the marriage. All I wanted to do was see my kids at the time. I hadn't seen them for that long.
Curiously, Mitchell couldn't bear to part with his last gift to Lindsay.
Can I just say, yeah, like, the only brand, this is just to add some levity, the only brand of, like, cigarettes, this, that, the other, that I've seen in this whole thing that still looks the same today is a bottle of Coca-Cola. That looks exactly the same as a bottle of Coca-Cola nowadays. Like, that's iconic, man. Anyway, like, I'm sorry, that's so inappropriate. It's just, I just can't, like, I find it hard to deal with these cases.
With you, I didn't want anything out of the marriage. All I wanted to do was see my kids at the time. I hadn't seen them for that long.
Curiously, Mitchell couldn't bear to part with his last gift to Lindsay.
These are the last bunch of flowers I bought Lindsay.
That's almost like a sick memento, like, in hindsight.
Would have been in October, something like that, I think. And they've been there ever since. I don't want to get rid of them.
She didn't tell her mum or me or anybody else that she'd taken him back. And that's Lindsay's final mistake.
With Mitchell and Lindsay back together, family and friends kept away. But within weeks, Lindsay knew she'd made a terrible mistake.
The only time I popped round was the 22nd of October. I took her to the shop. On the way home, she started crying. She let Mitch come back and she wished she hadn't let him come back. She can't get him out of the house. And she asked me, could I get him out of the house? And I said, well, no, because I've intervened before and we've fallen out and we haven't seen each other for months. And it's up to you to do something yourself about it.
Hello, good evening, I'm Agnes.
I'm Paula.
Pleased to meet you.
I got to the house and she asked me to come in. And
She's one of the so-called mediums or psychics preying upon, like, I'm just going to say it, she's just preying upon vulnerable families.
Hello, good evening, I'm Agnes.
It's like she's trying to sound like what people would expect the psychic to sound like.
Paula. Pleased to meet you.
I bet you're pleased to meet her.
I got to the house and she asked me to come in. And Mitch was sat in the corner drinking a can of lager, giving me, well, if looks could kill, I'd have died on the spot.
Did you bring something
Yeah.
with you?
as I was leaving, she said, "I'll give you my phone number, Paul." I said, "Yeah, give me your new number."
Oh, I feel very upset at the moment as I get older these.
Oh, you... Oh.
I feel as if I'm choking at the moment.
I got outside in the car and she put the paper in my hand and I took it from her. She put her arms in the car, hugged me, kissed me.
I don't know why, but I feel I want to cry as I get older these.
I drove off and then I pulled up at home and realised, I thought, oh, it's all going to start again. I'm going to get all the trouble at my house. There's going to be arguments. But I opened the note and on the note it said, "Please help me."
I do feel this lady is in the spirit world because it comes so close that.
The next day I saw my mum and I gave her the note. I said, "This is what Lindsay's written."
I feel I'm still in Southport. I'm not outside of Southport.
She's gone very red in the face. Like it's like she knows she's doing wrong. She's like ashamed. She's embarrassed. Like, but she wants that paper.
She said she'd had him back because she felt lonely. And she realised she'd made a mistake, but there was no one to help her anymore. And then, like I say, I read that note. "Please help me." And I wished I could turn the clock back.
Despite her troubles, Lindsay was looking forward to Christmas 1998.
She loved it, Christmas. I think it was the 11th of December. She popped up around tea time. I took her home, but we stopped off at the off-licence at Berry Road and she went in to get me some cigarettes. And she come running out, gave me a kiss and said, "See you later, Mum." And I've never seen her since. I get emotional now.
We found out that she's actually going to institute divorce proceedings again and had secretly sought an appointment with a solicitor, and we felt that Mitchell wasn't aware of that either because she's probably in a row with him on the 15th, has let it slip that she's going to see the solicitor and that he's not going to see the children. And I felt that was quite a big catalyst to what happened.
Christmas Eve day, we had 2 black bags of presents in the car for Lindsay's children. I rung Lindsay in the morning to tell her that we'd be up with them. Couldn't get any answer. And at about 20 to 4, the doorbell went. And when I got downstairs, it was Mitchell Quine. And he stood there in this cold weather and rain in just this shirt and the 2 children in the buggy. And I said, "I've been ringing Lindsay all day." And he says, "Oh, the phone got broken in an argument." I said, "Where's Lindsay?" And he said, "She's in the house getting ready to go out with her mates."
Anyway, I gave him the presents and this, that and the other, and I just said, "I hope there's going to be no trouble tonight, and you know it's going to be a quiet Christmas for you." And off he went.
The next time I saw her was at 7 in the morning, Christmas Day morning. She came in, she was wrecked.
Well, we got no card from Lindsay at Christmas, no presents or else. Didn't think too much of it because we left them to get on with it.
It's horrible that he assassinates her character after he's killed her. Like, that happens a lot in these cases, and it just adds insult to injury, man.
She got up after say about 1, 2 o'clock, something like that. Got up, I had her go in the bathroom, like had the shower going. She came down and got herself sorted out and left.
Complete rubbish. I don't believe one thing he said. I believe he's harmed my daughter.
Have I made up the story that I've just told you? Well, one day everyone's going to find out, aren't they? I didn't do that. I haven't done anything to Lindsay. I'm not capable of doing something like that. Like I say, I'm not going to sit here and start saying yes and no to stupid things, stupid questions I've already answered 1,000 times.
And just say again, and it's not a stupid question, it's a very serious question. Did you kill Lindsay?
Wait and find out.
Whoa.
Just wait and find out.
Lindsay was last seen alive on the 15th of December 1998. Her absence was not reported until February the 5th, 53 days later.
It was okay. I wasn't gonna pick up on it, but like, he's got some incongruent body language happening there, like he's when he should be just shaking his head. No, I didn't blah blah blah. Yeah, he sort of shakes and nods his head at the same time, which is incongruent.
I made up the story that I've just told. Well, one day everyone's going to find out, aren't they?
Do you see that?
I haven't done anything to Lindsay. I'm not capable of doing something like that.
And he's got a drooping smile, and he also sucks in his lips and stuff as well. Like that's 3 like potential signs of deception.
Like I say, I'm not going to sit here and start saying yes and no to stupid things, stupid questions I've already answered.
I know it's like irrelevant at this point. Like, oh, look at that face, man, flipping hell. I know it's irrelevant at this point because he's in prison, but like at the same time, like hopefully, like it helps, it helps people sort of pick up on cues in the future in their personal lives.
1,000 times.
And just say again, and it's not a stupid question, it's a very serious question. Did you kill Lindsay?
Wait and find out. Just wait and find out.
Lindsay was last seen alive on the 15th of December 1998. Her absence was not reported until February the 5th, 53 days later. She was not reported missing by Mitchell, her family, her friends or neighbours, but by a concerned social worker.
I hate him. I mean, does he not have any feeling for what he's done? For that young girl that had no one in the end? She was just a lonely girl with 2 children.
Yeah, he's obviously love-bombed her, then got slowly more abusive, and then isolated her from her friends and her family, and caused disagreements with everyone, and sunk his claws in, and then finally like extinguished the life out of her. Like, it's really sad.
And I have to sit here and live with my guilt for not being there for her. So does the rest of the family.
We shouldn't have done what we did. No, we shouldn't have done what we did. We should have gone round and seen what was happening. Then he wouldn't have been able to get away with what he's got away with.
It's not just us that stopped going, all the friends stopped going as well.
Yeah.
You know?
Nobody should stop
They all
going
feel
around.
guilty, just like we did. Go and get the cards, Liam.
Mother's Day 2000. Lindsay has been missing now for almost 16 months.
I know your wish was for Lindsay to come back. To your mum, happy Mother's Day.
It makes me annoyed to think that she's missed Mother's Day, you know, and the kids have. That's something they're going to have to grow up with for the rest of their lives now.
Is that from Danny?
No, I don't think I'm going to bother with spiritualists anymore.
Good.
I'm going to try clairvoyance now.
Oh, what?
I
Oh,
might try
okay.
one of them in a couple of weeks.
They're all the same, love. They're all the same. Con artists.
Lindsay had been here, she would have been here all day today. Well, I should have a bit of dinner and...
It's horrible to think. Isn't it clairvoyant where they try and contact the dead directly? So now, not only is it's going to get worse. Like, there's going to be some lass in a silly outfit pretending to take on the spirit of Lindsay. That is just, that for money as well. That's just horrible.
One of them in a couple of weeks.
So in a couple of weeks, like that must mean she's saving up money to do it. Like, how much are they charging to like take advantage of these vulnerable family members, man?
Lindsay had been here, she would have been here all day today.
They probably have to charge a lot of money because most people ain't gonna like see it as an option. I'm not calling them stupid. Like they're just that desperate. She's just that desperate. She wants to, find out what's going on. Like, so I'm not calling her stupid, but they must not get many customers and they must charge a lot of money.
Well, I should have a bit of dinner and she'd probably fetch a bottle of wine with her. And splash out on presents. Things she always liked to do. But no, not this year.
Robin wrote that. So.
Mother's Day at Mitchell's was tense as he finally lost patience with us.
Is it difficult, Mitchell?
No comment.
Is it difficult on Mother's Day?
I'm not getting into this, Chris. I've told you. No, don't.
Why?
I've told you. Finish. Don't put me in don't put me in a horrible position, Chris. Turn it off. Don't put it in, right? I don't mind you can film around the house. I told you. No. Right. At the end of the day, Mother's Day, I'm not going to do anything. I'm not doing anything. I don't want to talk about it anymore. We've done loads of filming. So I'm saying no. Right.
You're not concerned how it makes you look?
I'm not asked. In what way can I look any worse? In what way? What? I mean, I've been fucking arrested for murder. I've done fucking all sorts.
I think he started to realise.
If you catch that, then yeah, he says I've done effing all sorts. Yeah, it's not like they've done or to me. Like he says I've done effing all sorts.
I don't want to talk about it anymore. We've done loads of filming.
Might be a Freudian slip.
Right.
You're not concerned how it makes you look?
I'm not
Listen.
asked. In what way can I look any worse? In what way? What? I mean, I've been fucking arrested for murder. I've done fucking all sorts.
I think he started to realise it was inevitable at some stage we were going to take some more action against him. My view was that the longer we waited, the weaker the case may be, because even then we were talking about a circumstantial case, and I felt that we needed to take some assertive action.
You see stuff like this happening to people on the telly, like people doing press conferences and shit like that. When you just look at it and you think, oh God, it's pretty sad, isn't it? And you just move on, turn over and watch Coronation Street, put Neighbours on. But when you actually have to live it, you never stop thinking about it. It's with you 24 hours a day. Even dream about it.
Yeah, I bet you do.
Sometimes you think to yourself, are you going to pinch yourself and wake up? It was all a bit of a bad dream, but it ain't. It ain't.
Mitchell's bad dream was about to turn into a nightmare. Mitchell Quai had been a prime suspect for 16 months and thought he'd beaten the police. But his arrogance was about to be finally dented.
What more can anyone do to me now? Nothing. I've been dragged through the newspapers, a few of the nationals, I've been on the television, I've been on Richard and Judy, and now I'm doing this, and I've gone beyond caring what people think of me. I've said my bit. If people don't believe what I'm saying, that's tough shit. I don't care anymore. I know the truth. I'm the only one that does know the truth. Serious, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, I was the one who was there.
That's so suspicious, man. If she was alive and she had gone off, then of course there's going to be other people. She's going to know the truth. He's not going to know the truth. He's not going to know where she is. She's going to know. And anyone who's in her life now, if she did go off, is going to know. Like, he's not going to be the one who knows. That's the proper Freudian slip, that is, man. Of course, only the murderer knows the truth, and that's him. And he's just put himself in it there.
Television, I've been on Richard and Judy.
Also, let me go back. I wasn't going to analyse this, yeah? But when he's like, oh, I've been on the papers, I've been on this, I've been on that, like, as if, like, the world's attacked, like, put that on him. He's the one who chose to, like, respond to those interviews, and even by the sounds of it, encouraged the interviews and the documentary and stuff like that. So he's acting all like, oh, well, on me. He's so manipulative.
What more can anyone do to me now? Nothing. I've been dragged through the newspapers, a few of the nationals, I've been on the television, I've been on Richard and Judy, and now I'm doing this, and I've gone beyond caring what people think of me. I've said my bit. If people don't believe what I'm saying, that's tough shit. I don't care anymore. I know the truth. I'm the only one that does know the truth. Serious, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, I was the one who was there, here.
After 16 months' investigations, the police knew Lindsay was not alive after the 15th of December 1999. And they also knew Mitchell was lying about what happened that Christmas. At 8 o'clock on the morning of June the 7th, 2000, Mitchell Quai was arrested on suspicion of murder.
3 officers from a search team are in Mitchell Quai's house at the moment. They've been in there for about an hour and a half.
Feels great after all these months. Finally got him. Just a lot of weight off our shoulders, but it's not over yet, is it?
Robin, put it down.
Yeah, kids are here. Put him? No.
Then it's over and away with.
Maybe we'll find out now where Lindsay is in the next few days and what happened to her.
Yeah, it's been on the news all morning.
I hope somebody's got the decency to tell us.
Ow! Get away!
It hits home that you could now find out exactly what's been done to Lindsay. It might not be very nice too now.
Mitchell was taken for 2 days of questioning, but refused to say anything.
My officers on the interview team remember quite vividly watching him recoil as some of the questions were put to him, but he still maintained his right to silence. But his body language gave them a completely different story.
He was silent for 36 hours, but the police knew they had him, and late in the evening of June the 8th, he was charged with murder regardless.
It has a very strange effect on people, that you can imagine being charged with murdering somebody. I feel he's probably gone to a solicitor and said, why has this happened? How's that happened? And I think his solicitor's probably said, well, this is reality.
Mitchell, knowing he could no longer escape custody, broke down, and 1 hour later he confessed everything.
He'd spent 36 hours of no comment, and then when he decided to tell everything, we just couldn't shut him up. Not only had he admitted the offence, that he'd indicated areas where Lindsay's body was deposited, and it was only then it started to dawn on me that he'd actually cut her up. And everybody, absolutely everybody on the team, were amazed. We just couldn't believe it.
The following day, we followed Mitchell and the police on a horrifying tour to find Lindsay's remains.
What I was that he wasn't taking us on a wild goose chase and just seeking more publicity. I was amazed. He looked around and asked if the press were there, because he was quite eager to be seen on camera. He was laughing and joking with the officers, no remorse whatsoever.
These are the grim scenes of Mitchell Quay revealing to the police the whereabouts of his wife Lindsay's broken body.
He pointed to an area and said that he'd put the carcass, he referred to Lindsay's torso as the carcass.
Wow. What would you do if the police find Lindsay's body? I'd be gutted. I'd be absolutely gutted. For the kids. What would you say to the kids? What do I say to Robin? What do I say to her?
Mitchell had callously cut up his wife and the mother of his 2 children in the bath at their home. He'd cut her legs off, he'd cut her head off, and he'd cut her hands off.
Oh my word.
And systematically wrapped them in cloth and bags and taped them up, and callously took them outside with the children and dumped the various body parts at locations that we've since found.
This is hitting me differently, man.
He's one callous, evil bastard. That's all he is. Don't like swearing about him, but there's no words fit to describe the man. And unfortunately, a lot of the neighbours are on his side. Some of the remarks they would say about Lindsay was unbearable. I bet they wish they'd never even said anything at all now.
After 18 months, Peter Wilson's heartbreaking search was finally over.
For one human being to do that to another human being is just beyond, I'd say, normal people's comprehension.
Lindsay had never left her children. She had never even left her home. On the 16th of December 1998, Lindsay had arranged a solicitor's appointment to finalise the divorce and get Mitchell out of her home for good. Unable to take her final rejection, Mitchell killed her in the early hours of that morning.
Yeah, by that point, he saw Lindsay as his property, and that he owned, and how dare she try and take his property away from her. And when he realised that he couldn't have her and there was nothing stopping it, he probably thought, well, no one can have her then.
Just a nightmare, really. As I said, it just goes from bad to worse. You just got to put up with it. Just got to keep strong. You know, you feel like cracking up, but I can't at the moment. There's a lot more to be done. Just sad, really.
They should be playing with their mum. She spend a lot of time playing with them. She just shouts, "Mummy, I want to see you." I wish Mummy's bed would fall out the sky so I could get in and talk to her. It's very upsetting, this. And then she says, "I wish I could die and go to heaven with me, Mum."
Oh, man.
It's not fair to the kids. He's not only destroyed our lives, he's taken their mother away from 2 kids that Lindsay really loved.
Mitchell had not only killed Lindsay, to save himself he had sullied the character of a loving mother. But worse still, he had bequeathed Lindsay one last cruel indignity.
They said that Lindsay's head and hands were put in a bin bag and put out for the refuse collection.
Oh my word.
And if that has happened, the chances of finding them are non-existent, really. I don't think Lindsay will ever rest.
Oh,
I don't
man,
think the family will ever rest, knowing that we can't put her all to rest.
I just got to stop it there, man. I'm sorry. Like, I can't really deal with any more of that. That's just, I think the music was really getting to me as well. But like, I feel so bad for her family. That is disgusting. That's shocking. And it's really enraging seeing someone get on television like that. And yeah, I don't know what to say. You've been locked into Everything Bite Size. Check out my music videos, check out my shorts, check out my other content like this. And I will catch you in the next one. Peace.